And Councilman Buzzard, would you mind giving us the blessing?
Dear Heavenly Father, we ask you to keep your hand upon our meeting today, third. Safe travel back home. We ask you to bless, keep your hand upon our troops to serve our country. We ask you to bless all of our veterans that are here. We ask you to bless the tribal council. We ask you to keep all of us under your name. We ask all this in Christ's name. Amen.
It's good to be in a tribe where we can pray. Shelly, please do roll call.
David Walkingstick.
Honey.
Don Garvin. Buell Anglin.
Honey.
Keith Austin.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Harley Buzzard.
Here.
Joe Bird.
Honey.
Sean Crittenden.
Honey.
Frankie Hargis.
Present.
Wanda Hatfield.
Honey.
Rex Jordan.
Here.
Dick Lay.
Here.
Curtis Snell.
Here.
Janice Taylor.
Here.
Dan Thornton.
Honey.
Victoria Vesquez.
Honey.
Brian Warner.
Honey.
We do have a quorum.
I'd like to hear a motion to approve the minutes from March 20th, 2017. Move second. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. All right. Down to reports. We got Miss Diane Kelly. Been with the tribe for 20 years, or is it 40?
She's 40 years old. Been here 20 years.
Former Miss Cherokee.
Former Miss Cherokee.
There's a big line there.
40, and I really was surprised.
40
Really?
years
Really, I was.
service.
I couldn't figure out where all my staff were. I was getting ready to declare war on them. The
So,
chief said, when you walked in there, you seemed like you were mad. And I said, well, I'd gone over to the office and nobody was there. And I said, I thought, what is going on?
how many chiefs have you been through?
Six?
Six.
Six?
That is amazing.
I just knew W.W. Keeler when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
He used to bring my grandpa a turkey every Christmas.
Well, I think we all have something to learn from you about conflict resolution, and I like to just come shout at you at some point.
Well, come on.
Yeah.
No, you don't either.
She'll shout back.
Yeah. Oh, yes, she knows.
And you have to be on time.
Yeah, that wouldn't work out.
Well, I just want to say that it's been an enjoyable 40 years, and I really thought, are they retiring me?
Not my knowledge.
Hopefully not. Anyway, it was very nice, and I appreciate the comments that some of you all made on email, or I guess it's Facebook now. Hey, listen, if I friended you on Facebook, I apologize. I still don't know how to use it. I may send you something by mistake. I'm learning. I just want to say Happy Easter to all of you, since we're on the week before Easter, and I know that it's going to be a short week, and we're trying to get a lot of stuff worked up before this Friday. I hope that we responded to all of you. There was like probably 5 or 6 comments at the last committee meeting, and it might have been executive finance, but some of y'all had asked about various things from stoves to our welding program, and I went back and we responded to just about everybody, and I CC'd the speaker so that he knew. So
Yeah,
if
I
we
got
didn't
that
respond the
response.
way you wanted us to, I'll be glad to visit with you about it. Job Corps is still flying high in their rankings and ratings. Ramona is ecstatic because her scores are really high, and she's worked very hard to get there. And in fact, one of the Job Corps here in the state called and asked if she could help give them some technical assistance on something. So that made her feel good that she knew she was doing something right. Jay will be with a group from our department that will be in Oklahoma City this week for the State Workforce Partners Conference. We've been participating in that for many years. It's going on in Oklahoma City this week. Brenda Fitzgerald and Darrell Legg were asked by the Department of Labor to do a presentation at the Department of Labor regional meeting. There's 3 that's going to take place in the United States. One's in Dallas, and they're going to go down there and talk about rapid response and what we've done as far as helping people to get jobs that either their plant has closed or it's downsized. And Larry Dartery in our Tulsa office has been working with a lot of the rapid response programs, and Brenda and Darrell, so they'll be down there doing that. We will be celebrating Professional Administrative Professionals Day on Wednesday, April the 26th. There was a proclamation by Chief Baker recognizing that day. It will be the last Wednesday of the month. We'll recognize our business technology students, our adult business technology students, and our business classes over at Job Corps in conjunction with the luncheon. And we always invite our executive directors and their administrative assistants to come over. And we know it's going to be a good day because we have two really outstanding women that are going to be speaking. I think I told you that at the last committee meeting, but we're very honored to have them with us. We're submitting another reentry proposal. I told you that we were submitting one last month. Kim and Brenda and Deborah and Alicia Eubanks, they're all working on a grant, another reentry. It's for youth. We don't know how successful we're going to be. The other one was for a research grant, but it was for adults. This one is for youth. We were told by the Department of Labor when we went down the first part of February that there would be some grants coming down the pipe on reentry. So we're going to take advantage of as many as that we possibly can. We don't know whether we'll be successful, but if you don't try, you won't ever know. We have a proclamation signing on Wednesday, May the 10th, which is the Wednesday before the Stillwell Strawberry Festival. And it's at 10:30. It'll either be here in Tahlequah or it'll be in Tulsa. We're not really sure yet. It's in conjunction with Economic Development Week. And we're also doing some displays here in the building from some of the businesses that we're working with through either OJT or some of the businesses that we make referrals to. We're also involved with Cherokee Nation Business's Job Fair on May the 10th, and I really want to invite you to come out for the Stillwell Strawberry Festival. It's one of the largest events in Northeast Oklahoma. We have a long parade, but that evening at 6:30, we're going to be recognizing two Stillwell High School outstanding alumnus. One of them is our Deputy Principal Chief, Joe Crenton. Wow. So he'll be honored. We're planning something different this year. That kind of went by the wayside where we didn't do a lot, but we're going to have some entertainment this year. The White Brothers are going to be playing, and they're going to go get one of the brothers out of the nursing home so he can sing tenor. And if you don't know anything about the White Brothers, they all play musical instruments, and they perform just very rarely. And they're real excited. In fact, one of them is Sean's grandpa, and he's the one they're going to go get out of the nursing home. So Sean, I think, is going to come up and sing with us too. I'm not singing, but he is. And then Frances Steele is going to have her elect ensemble there. So encourage you to come out if you want to see some good old-time music. And we have a lot of classes that will be celebrating their 20, 30, 40, 50-year class reunion. In fact, my sister-in-law is coming down for her 60th, so, and she's pretty old. I'm just kidding. She'll kill me for that. But anyway, it's a big time there in Stillwell. You can ask Frankie. If you grew up there, I mean, it's just like homecoming for the Cherokee holiday for us.
What's the new pavilion? Is that what that is?
That's going to be the new, well, I guess the gazebo, whatever you want to call it. I'm not really sure what it's going to look like. It doesn't look real tall, so I'm not really sure if we'll be able to see over the people. I'm kind of worried about that. But maybe they'll build it up a little bit. And we're also going to have career services bags. Last year they were a hit. We had some strawberries that we gave out. Well, we got a bunch more coming this year, so we'll have strawberry bags to give out.
Good.
Are the berries good this year?
Supposed to be real good.
Oh, yeah.
Are
Oh,
they?
yeah.
We didn't get very much. Is it when you get too much rain, they're not very good?
That's right.
Okay.
So far, we haven't gotten a lot of rain, so let's hope we don't get it a lot between now and then.
Okay. Well, good report, Diane. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Diane? Yes, Councilwoman Toad.
Who's the parade marshal for the Strawberry Festival?
The parade marshal? I'm not really sure. No, it's not.
He's the announcer.
I help with the announcing. I'm not really sure.
I
She's
did
always
want
been
to
an
say that the staff or students that helped with the groundbreaking at the hospital did an excellent job. They're very attentive and really took care of us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Tyler Wagers is our culinary arts instructor, and Tyler really goes above and beyond.
Yeah.
And we were just very fortunate to get him,
He did a
and he
great
does a good job,
Yeah.
and we're thankful for him.
And they all acted like they were happy to be there. That goes a long way.
Yeah, if you get them jackets, we got them red jackets, so
There you go.
sometimes that helps. It's an incentive.
Get a uniform.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Diane, the other person, is that Jerry White?
Yes, Jerry White. In fact, Jerry White and Joe Crittenden graduated the same year together.
Yeah.
So that was kind of odd because normally that doesn't happen. And this year it's two men instead of a man and a woman. So some years does happen.
Oh, we
Diane
al-
Barker's a former one.
Yeah. Oh, we always do that parade. That's a good parade.
Thank you. Hope y'all can come.
All right, thanks, Diane. Any other questions? Seeing none, good report, Diane.
Thank you.
Next is our executive director's report, Mr. Vaughn Etheridge.
Good afternoon. We have 6, 7 things need to report, and then we'll stop me at any time, ask any questions at any time. Our Johnson O'Malley, Oak Jam, is going on right now at the Hard Rock. I hope y'all have been invited, because you're more than welcome, and we want you there. And of course, you got conflict today, but it's going through tomorrow, and a banquet tomorrow evening will conclude Oak Jam. I attended the opening session this morning, and full crowd. I mean, everyone. We had the building where we were located was full. We have our 5-tribe language meeting that took place last year and along about this time at Northeastern starting Wednesday morning at 8:30, and it will go Wednesday and Thursday. TOS meetings this past 2 weeks. We had our meeting at Roland 2 Fridays ago, and then meeting at Claremore at Will Rogers Downs this last Friday. We had a couple of council members present and spoke in both cases, and appreciate both these. Brian spoke down at Roland, and Keith spoke at Claremore, and thank you guys for stepping up to the plate. And Janice, we knew or thought you were coming, and you had to be at 2 places, and so.
I needed a phone that day, so I sent Keith.
Yeah, okay. But, and David Walkenstick spoke also at the one at Claremore. So anyway, we appreciate you all being in attendance. Yeah, he came in a little bit later.
David came in late.
Yeah, so anyway, but he spoke to the group. So appreciate all being there. We at the TOS meeting in Claremore, after our meetings Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday that the Creek Nation hosted for the ESSA plan that attracted people from on the national level, state level, and we've been working toward a plan to get it out to our people in the 14 counties. And so as a result of that meeting, along with a number of other meetings, a meeting in DC, a meeting in the state capitol, and in our meeting Thursday, intertribal, we feel like we've come up with a good plan. And so what we're going to try to do to keep your people in compliance, to keep us in compliance with what the federal regulations are recommending to us. And once again, it's a recommendation on the tribal's part. It's a recommendation from on that level and on the state level. They want us to be a part of it. And so, we first thought initially that we would have all the documents filled out, and when the superintendents of the respective counties met, and they do frequently, that we would go and be a part of that meeting and have title program people there with the documents. Well, you know, that's not really an open meeting. And so what we thought, we need to do it a little bit different, and we need to spread out just a little bit and make ourselves more user-friendly. And so what we're going to do is our staff's going to get together, and there's going to be about 5 or 6 of us, go to 4 sites. And they'll have to conduct their meeting at one of those 4 sites. Now one of them's going to be Pryor. They've already agreed to host. Another will be Kansas. We thought about having it at Jay, but we've been told that the VOTEC there would allow us to meet and not charge us. The other meeting, the southern meeting, would be at Salisal, which is centrally located for the southern counties. And then the last meeting would be here at Tahlequah. Now, if they miss one of those, then they can come to the last meeting in Tahlequah. But the host site will be the one that basically posts the agenda. And then those agendas are going to go out to the respective communities that might attend their meeting. And then if they have something that they want to add, and this will be in a letter to all the schools, and there's 57, by the way. Not all of them are Title VI schools. And not all of them, of course, you know that. There's only 17 that are above the 50%, and that's who we're talking to. So there's 57 schools total. But they will have the information. They will be allowed to post something on the agenda that they want on there locally. Now, some have told me that they will have their meeting prior to coming, and then they will just go show up at the meeting that we have. We will ask questions, they will ask questions. And basically, you know, it's a matter of keeping them in compliance with how they're spending their funding. And that's what we're to do. And so now this will suffice for this initial meeting with Title VI. Okay, it's not going to suffice for the other title programs, but we've got a lot more time for the other title programs. This Title VI, we have to have in the mail, documents signed, both parties, the tribe affiliated, and the school, the local district, okay, to DC so they can get their money back by the 15th of June. Okay, we have time on the other title programs. This means we'll probably turn right around in the fall and go back and do something very similar to what we're doing right now. And that's, I mean, and we do that, I consider that user-friendly on our part and trying to keep them in compliance. Are we there to dictate what they do as far as their rules and regulations and how the funding goes? No. We're just to keep them within the bylaws of how they can spend that money. That's what we're to do. You, as council members, feel free to come, be a part of it. I mean, we'll get the letter out. We'll make sure that council here knows when the meetings are. They haven't been specifically set. May's going to be crazy, as you all know. It always is, with graduations and those kind of things. So we'll have to kind of start to work and try to get the dates worked out on that. Okay. Let me, now, 2 other things, and then I'll answer any questions you might have, or Jennifer, regarding the college. But we had a little bike wreck. We got to practice every weekend. We got to run those bikes up and down the road to get ready for the RTR. And probably every one of you have heard it. I mean, I think it's a good lesson learned prior to making the trip. And I got to take about 8 or 9 days of that trip last year, and I got to think, man, what if that would have happened on the trip? And one got too close to another. And then we fall in behind pretty close. I mean, that's just the way it happens. And then when one goes down, about 4 went down is what it amounted to. So we're up and at 'em. Bikes are fixed. New helmets on those that hit the ground, and we run again. We hit the trails this past weekend. So everything's going good on that. And really, Jennifer, I'll turn it over to you, and I may have 1 or 2 other items that I may want to hit.
The biggest thing we have is Wednesday, April the 12th, is the deadline for new Promise Scholars. So that's just to kind of get a head count to the school, get them enrolled, and they can continue to apply between now and June, but it'll kind of depend on the availability at the schools. So if you've got any students out there looking for promise to be new students at Rogers State, NSU, or Connors, kind of help us get those applications in before Wednesday. May 1st, our concurrent enrollment will open, and that's going to be an online application for the first time this time, so we'll get that launched and kind of see how that's going to work this time. And the deadline for the regular scholarship, undergraduate, graduate, is June 15th. So we've got 830 applications so far, so we're hoping to reach the 5,000 mark this year as far as number of applications received. So we'll kind of keep you updated on that. Last month, we talked about some concurrent enrollment changes. This month, I'm just going to provide you some documentation to look at with where we've been since we've started, kind of what this semester looks like, and the changes in cost of attendance with tuition and fees, and then we'll talk about that in depth next month, if that's okay.
You just said it's-
The Heritage Center, I know you're aware, we're doing a national search, and they're supposed to have a short list to us 1st of May for a director there, and the process, should come to conclusion toward the end of May. That's kind of what's going on there, and it's a new deal for me. So this is the way that board wanted to do it, and so that's the way it's being done right now. Verna's not here today, so any questions that you have for us, or for her, we'll answer at this time.
Any questions for Verna?
A comment for you. We looked at the carryover today, and we had a meeting earlier, so we're looking at the carryover for concurrent enrollment. Somewhere in there, we need to address like a concurrent enrollment student that goes to OU or maybe a Ivy school versus going to Northeastern. We look at that, there's got to be a cost somewhere there, because if we're not careful, the cost is going to come back and catch up with us on our budget. Just something to look at. I know we don't have a solution for that now, but it's something to think about in the future.
You're going to be a bit surprised when you get the document that she just handed out. I said handed out. I'm sorry, I thought you had. Because when this was started, some of the schools that are getting most of our kids are the ones that's jacked the price up pretty good.
Yeah.
And they're local, local schools. So anyway, you can kind of look at that and see. I mean, that information is what she handed you.
Hey, Ron, would it be feasible if we set a cap amount per hour?
I think we helped it tremendously by cutting back 6 hours, this past semester. Once again, not only is it just tuition, but we talked about books and things, and it's a rather expensive deal. And we looked at the possibility of second semester junior year, right?
Right. Kind of what we'll put together for next month and try to get to you before then is a breakdown of 6 hours, 3 hours, the cost of books and everything included for some of those classes, just to show you more where we're paying those out for a 9-hour student, for 6-hour student, and then at each of the schools, and kind of let you see the whole picture of where we're at right now. Some options of how we might get that changed going forward.
Because like I said, going to NSU versus going to Fort Roberts, a private school, there's going to be a cost difference there. But it's, like I said, we need to find a median somewhere where at least we're providing some type of a service. But
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're trying to do with the breakdown that we're working on. It's just a little more in-depth than we have available at this moment, so we'll bring
we
it
used
to you.
to, when we first started off down this process, we had a set amount for per credit hour.
Right.
And then we changed it like a year after that, or 2 years after that, to cover the entire expense.
To pay the full invoice, right?
Yeah. I think we should revert back to that set amount.
Yeah, and we're looking
That's
at
my
that.
opinion. I don't know. Yes, Councilman Baker?
Yes. Of the spring 2017 scholarships, you know how many of those are the at-large or out of jurisdiction area?
Not right off the top, but I can get that to you when we get done.
Any other questions?
Good report, Ron.
Thank you.
Ron, good report, and I appreciate you. I heard a lot of superintendents there at Creek Nation that they were really pleased that how Cherokee Nation was getting involved with this and this ESSA movement, and how we was already ahead of the game. So I appreciate you spearheading this whole thing for all 57 districts in Cherokee Nation. You know, what's funny was some of the superintendents came up, me and Ron was having a conversation, and he said, "Wow, look at this big old building that the Creek Nation has," and he said, he said Cherokee Nation has big buildings, and why don't the tribes take over the LEAs? Why don't the tribes take over the schools? But Ron kind of giggled a little bit when he said that. But you know, these superintendents, you know, they're having doubt in our state system, but they see the tribe of how we're balancing our budget and how we're doing well. You know, so it was kind of a compliment for him to even pose that question to us. But
I promise you, the schools that we serve, that you all serve, they are, I mean, all smiles when it comes to Cherokee Nation. I mean, they really are. I mean, they know you go over and beyond. They really do. And, you know, I hear compliments all the time.
And the state superintendent, Joy Hoffmeister, when she was giving her address, she mentioned Cherokee Nation and the $5 million we gave out to the public schools. So it's noticed all across the entire state of what we're doing in public education. So every little bit helps. So anyways, Ron, appreciate you guys. Jennifer, thank you. You guys have any other questions? All right, good report. Okay. Next, going down to Sequoia High School, Superintendent Leroy Qualls.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will say that the TOS meetings that were held the last 2 weeks were both excellent. I went to both. Our staff at Education, spearheaded by Mr. Etheridge, did a great job of setting up and some great information. I enjoyed the superintendent from Fort Smith that we had at Roland. I enjoyed the information that we had up at Claremore, and squeezing in between those two, intertribal, had some good meetings there. Cherokee Nation was well represented there, and then I'm sitting there doing my phone, and someone asked me what I was doing. I said, well, I'm emailing the state of Oklahoma. You know, I mean, it's just State Department of Ed questions that they had that I had to answer. So, you know, it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge, and I too commend the tribe, the Cherokee Nation, and you as a council and our tribal administration for doing such a good job of leading, helping lead, and showing the state our way through this status, I would say, of what our education is in today. Just to give you a sampling of our April calendar, I've got both the immersion calendar and the high school calendar. There's no way I can keep up with everything that's going on this month. I wish I could just hold up both calendars and let you look at it. And I don't claim to be able to go to everything that we have, but state testing starts in the morning for our high school kids. We start with U.S. history. Next week we have English. The week after that, the 24th and 25th, we have science testing. And the 26th and 27th, we finish up with math testing. And I'm going to give you some information here, and if I go too fast, just say, oh, wait a minute. You know, feel free to stop me and ask any questions. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. Our student application process deadline is May the 1st for any student that's wanting to attend Sequoia next August. One little thing that's going on at school, it's little but it's major also, is our National Honor Society members are collecting donations for travel-sized hygiene items. And what they're doing is bagging those and taking them to the local homeless shelters. And our kids are involved with a lot of things like that. They're also doing a Canine Walk Day fundraiser, and they're also doing a fundraiser to fight leukemia. We recently had a student that lost a sibling, a 2-year-old, that succumbed to leukemia. So our kids are doing a lot of wonderful things out there, and you know, as they do all over northeast Oklahoma. We've got some great people working in our school systems, and good kids. We had 4 students make it to speech and drama this past weekend, state tournament competition in Norman. Winners were Joseph Farmer of the regional. Of course, they had to win the regional to get there. Speech and drama duet regional winners were Joseph Farmer, Noah Searcy, Michael Lindenberg, and Nicolette Stroud. This Thursday evening, our juniors and seniors will have their prom. Our band students did great last weekend at the Pawnee Band Day Solo Ensemble Competition. They had 5 superior ratings and also had 2 excellent ratings. Getting down to athletics, our track boys have been pretty successful. They won the the Wilburton relays and the Old Mulgee relays and finished 3rd at Enid. And our girls also had a top 4 finish in Wilburton. Boys golf finished 4th today at Cherokee Springs in the tournament. We've had 2 basketball players that were named All-State. Girls team, Sina Hayes. Boys team, Tyus Daughtery. They will both play in July at the Oklahoma Coaching Clinic. Girls softball team is still ranked number 1, and they host a tournament this Thursday. I saw a rough draft of it looked like close to 30 teams involved with that. Our immersion school's been very busy. I could not write down all of the schedules for you because you've got so many different grades doing so many different things. But it began last week with the 3rd grade reading test, which is huge. And Miss Davis, our principal, did share with me that our immersion kids have made tremendous gains this semester only. And I'd like to get some of those results and maybe share it with you at the next meeting that we have when I do my next report. But I've told you about the after-school tutoring that we've had, the inclusion teachers that we use in the classroom, and she's pretty excited about the gains that those kids have made just since January. 8th grade has a Tech Fest on April the 28th, and our immersion kids pretty much wiped them out at the OU Language Fair this past week. Lots of firsts and seconds. Out of 22 places, we had 20 of those places. And couldn't get all the first places because some of our kids finished second to their classmates. So that was a good problem. Our school calendar, like I said, is so full, but I am blessed, and we are so blessed to have so many dedicated teachers and administrators that set all these functions up for our kids and attend these events and make these things happen so our kids can be recognized. So we are definitely blessed there. And this evening, our Lady Indian basketball team state champions will be coming to your council meeting. I'm excited about that, for them to be recognized. And that concludes my report.
When was graduation?
19th at 6:30.
19th, 6:30?
I have a comment.
Yes, Speaker Bird.
Kindergarten, if you're worried about the big people, that's the 11th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Qualls, you had one of the young ladies from your immersion place also in the arts. They had the Cherokee Arts Festival, Cherokee Heritage Center over the weekend. I attended that. And then you had another lady that's on your volleyball team. She also won first place in the youth division. So you've got a lot of talent up there. And
Sometimes
I won't
too much to cover.
I don't want to divulge what the ACT score of that girl was, but it was really, really high. So you guys have done a good job in bringing the academics up there. Appreciate that.
Thank you, and all I can say is thanks to our teachers and our administrators that work hard and our kids.
Thank you, Mr. Qualls. Any other questions? Seeing none. Good report.
Thank you.
Next, moving down to the Cherokee Nation Foundation, we got Miss Janice Randall and another former Miss Cherokee.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Okay, the most important thing I feel that we do is we offer the scholarships that were just announced last month. And I want to thank you guys for promoting the scholarships because we have more applicants from, I was telling Wanda earlier, even across the United States. I mean, it's so exciting. People call and say, they're not based on income, they're not, do I have to live in the Cherokee, in a certain district, or does my child have to be a quarter or more? And so there's things that people worry about, and these scholarships are in addition to, that we do the 2,000. And so we've had more people apply, and if you look at the scholarships, I mean, these are students in high school with over 4 and then in college, they have 3.8s and 3.9s. I mean, they are outstanding Cherokee citizens that hopefully someday will serve in the Cherokee Nation and also give back. So this list was very competitive. And as you see on here, the Cherokee Scholars, those are the people in your district that you will probably present if you'd like to at their graduation. And they will have, Gail will have their name and what you put around their neck for them to wear with their cap and gown. And so if you want to promote the dates, we'll have the dates on there too, and we're going to bring them out this month and leave them with her. So if they're in your area, you can present. Then the next thing coming up is our camps, and the ACT camp that is held at Northeastern every year. It's pass that around. It will be the week of June the 5th, I believe, and it's online right now. You can get our application, they can call our office, or we've already had people calling about it, and we've already had a lot of people sign up. So if they ask you about it, then you'll know that they're online the month of April, the ACT camp. That is different from the CCPI, which is Cherokee College Preparatory Institute, that is held every July. And we move from university to university. Last year it was at Rogers. This year, Brian got us a great deal. It's going to be at Carl Albert. And take one of those and pass it around. And it has, at the bottom, we'll have about the July camp, and at the top has the June camp. And also our webpage, which we don't have anything to do with it, but CMB designed it, and it won a digital award, it won a bronze award this month for our new webpage that we launched last year with our new brand. So we're going to have a busy summer coming up. And do you all have any questions?
Janice, how many do you have on your staff now?
2. Janice, 2.
Well, we appreciate all you do. How you really
We have an
enhance
ACT teacher.
ACT, and you know, what you've done for these schools, it really shows. And like you say, the requests we get for scholarships, additional funding that we give here as a tribe, I mean, you got the word out by going to all these meetings.
And you guys have got the word out. I mean, when I took this job, we'd served about 500 students, and now we've served over 5,000 with the same budget. That's why we have less staff.
Well, if anybody's trying to recruit you, or, you know, you're wanting to be traded, don't pull a Kevin Durant. Let us know before you do that. Let's see if we can't give you a counter offer.
I'm probably not going anywhere.
Okay.
I love my job. I've got to meet lots of great people, and I love going out to the communities and meeting people there, so,
Okay.
thank you.
Good report, James. Down to old business, it's none pending. Down to new business. Brian, would you like to take that?
You bet. This is a resolution certifying compliance with 24 CFR Chapter 9, the April 1st, 2003 edition. I put that in form of a motion.
Motion.
Second.
There's a second. Is there any discussion? Yes, Councilman Crittenden.
I'd like Brian to explain a little bit, have it 2 minutes. It sounds like a really good deal.
Well, it's, the way it was explained to me, it's an Indian, it's a Cherokee, or Indian Community Development Block Grant, HUD grant, and it looks like they're going to try to use this to supply some much-needed storm shelters and stuff for Head Starts and things like that. I don't know where they'll start out at. Somebody else may know more information, but it looks like a good thing to me to do. So
It's a good deal.
You know, it's something that there's a lot of these grants that you can come up, that a lot of our different departments qualify for, and then it comes down to priority of what's priority in our tribe. And I know the different department heads kind of get frustrated because they didn't get it, or some years they do get it. But if you like to kind of explain further kind of what this grant entails.
So this grant will provide storm shelters to 7 of our Head Start facilities. The 7 were chosen based on the fact that they're the Cherokee-owned facilities. We can't place them on state land or non-tribal facilities. So the 7 facilities will be all various communities, and they'll get shelters that fit their needs for each building. And they will be attached to the facilities, and they will be built to where you can't tell that it's a safe room. It's not a under the ground or anything like that. It's an additional room on the building, and they will be FEMA rated buildings. So, and then we're also going to apply for some infrastructure. We're going to do a multi-project application. So they will get the storm shelters, and they will also get some much needed infrastructure development up at this facility here, so that they can have better storm and sewer, water and sewer infrastructure.
Which facility?
At the Head Start, the
Okay.
big Head Start. I don't know which direction I'm facing.
What is your full name?
I'm sorry, Christina Carroll with the Grant Services Department. So, and as far as project selection, this grant was written for last year. We got the feedback from the department, and it was such minor changes that it's burdened the hand for sure. If we can update the application and apply again, we have a very good chance of receiving the funds.
Yes, Councilman Lay.
If it's okay with Brian and Frankie, could I be added as a sponsor? Sure. We catch a little wind up where I'm
at. These storm shelters, are they going to be multi-purpose facilities?
They
or just
will be. They will be
specifically-
able to use them for, maybe some gross motor skills, whatever. They can't store things in there, and they can't, they can't just fill it with things. So it has to remain open and free. But they can use it for play space if it's raining outside, and it'll give them some nice added space to their buildings as well.
Okay, all right. Yes, Councilman Crittenden.
Do you know which facilities?
I don't have the list with me right now, but I can send it to you. I can email you the
Send
list.
it to Gail. I think
Sure,
we'd all
I'll
be
do that. I'll
interested
send
in
it so that she can send it to everyone.
I'd like to be a sponsor too, if that's all right.
As Speaker Burke can send that out to you guys. He's familiar with what sites.
No, I don't. Say it to Gail.
I sure will.
Shelley, I'd like to be a sponsor too.
I can't.
Everybody want to be a sponsor?
Yeah.
Who's against storm shelters for Head Start kids?
We did a,
And one.
we did a community meeting wherein we asked people if they supported it, and, you know, it was very hard pressed to find anybody who would say no, they didn't support it, obviously, so.
All in favor?
All right. Is there any other questions? All right, everyone's a sponsor.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
all right. Appreciate you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Announcements, next meeting scheduled for May the 15th at 3 p.m. I hear a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Second, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
You're all right.